I'm Alex, and thanks for coming to today's class. So for today's class, all you need is a water bottle, a yoga mat, and that's it, actually. Maybe a chair for the squats. I'm going to check the stream to make sure everything looks good, and we'll get started here in just a few minutes. All right, looks like everything is good. So like I said, all you're gonna need for today's class is gonna be a water bottle, a yoga mat or towel, and then possibly a chair or something you can do some squats to. All right, and as always, so if you have questions, need me to repeat something, go back over something, feel free to comment on the video, and I will happily go back over that. We'll give everyone just a few more minutes, and then we'll get started. So make sure you have water today, especially if you're in a room without air conditioning. It is very hot today. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So let's start today with a nice neck stretch. So you can do this standing or seated. You're going to let your arms rest at your side. Put one arm behind your back, and then gently pull your head away from the arm that's behind your back. You're gonna take a few deep breaths. Then gently pull that head forward just a little bit. Go ahead and switch sides. So opposite arm behind the back, gently pulling that head away. Make sure you're taking some deep breaths. And pulling that head forward. All right. So next up, we're going to do a set of 5 walkouts. So you're going to start standing nice and tall and walk your hands out into a plank position, and then walk your hands all the way back, reach for the ceiling, and repeat. We're going to do this 5 times. And then on this next one, we're going to walk all the way out. So back out into that plank. And then we're going to bring one leg forward. Get a little bit of a hip flexor stretch. And then open up towards the leg that you brought forward. And then switch which leg is forward. Same thing. We're going to do this 2 more times on both sides. Wonderful. So go ahead and move into that tabletop position. We're going to do a set of 5 cat-cows. So breathing up into your spine, exhaling down, inhaling up, exhaling down. Perfect. All right. So next up, we're going to do a quad stretch. So we're going to stand, bring one leg back, just like this. Take some deep breaths. And then switch legs. Perfect. So come on over. Stand so that you have a little bit wider than your normal squat stance. We're going to sit deep into a squat, grab our toes. Using our elbows to push those knees out, trying to keep our chests up. So you can kind of move around a little bit in this bottom position. Feel where you're tight. And then come on up into a hamstring stretch. Couple deep breaths. And back down into that squat. So again, really trying to push those knees out with your elbows. And then back up into that hamstring stretch. And you can stand all the way up. We're going to lay on our backs. So laying on your back, you want your feet to be hip width apart. You put your hands at your side. You're going to engage your core. Squeezing your glutes and hamstrings. You're going to come up, hold for 2 seconds, back down. We're going to do a set of 16. Perfect. So coming on up, we're going to stand and do a little bit of a calf stretch. So you can put your foot against a wall or against a piece of furniture. Take some deep breaths. Switch legs when you're ready. And then last but not least, we're going to do a set of 8 bird dogs per side. So back in that tabletop position, you're going to extend opposite arm, opposite leg. keeping the core engaged. We're going to do 8 per side. Perfect. All right, so that's going to be it for your warm-up. So grab some water, stretch anything you feel like you need to stretch, and I'm going to show what we're doing for circuit 1 here in a second. Okay, so circuit 1 is super people, squats, plank variations, and single leg deadlifts. So super people, you're going to lay down on your stomach, arms outstretched, squeezing the entirety of your posterior chain, coming up and then back down. So just squeezing, coming up and back down. So with those, you can do them slow and steady. You can hold for a few seconds. Next up is squats. So if you feel like you struggle with balance when you're squatting, this may be a good time to squat to a chair, a couch, something. So when you're squatting, you want to make sure you're keeping your core engaged, your hips are coming back, knees are coming forward, keeping the chest upright. So you're sitting back, knees are coming out, and then coming back up. So from the side, again, keeping that core engaged, chest up, hips come back, knees come forward, and back up. If you're squatting to a bench, you can put it right behind you, and then just sit down like this. If you lose your balance, you sit down, no big deal. You can come back up from that sitting position. If you feel like your calves are really tight, so if when you did the calf stretch in the warm-up, you felt like, man, my calves are really tight, you might find that when you're squatting, you're leaning really far forward. If that's the case, I would take a couple of books or anything you have that's roughly a 1/2 inch to 1 inch thick, and you can put it on your heels, like so, with the front of your foot still on the floor. So you're just elevating the heels, and then when you're squatting, it'll help relieve some of that tension in your calves. So if you feel like you're leaning really far forward, try elevating your heels, and you can also put something behind you. So next up, we have the plank variations. So you can do several options. You can just do a standard plank, either kneeling like this or on your elbows, either one, or you can do a full plank either on your elbows or hands, or you can do one of 2 variations. Number 1, you can do a Spider-Man plank, where you're bringing knees to elbows like this, making sure you keep that core engaged, or you can do shoulder tap plank, where you are widening your foot stance, tapping opposite hand to opposite shoulder. So you don't have to do the same thing both rounds. You can also start off doing a dynamic plank where you're moving and then switch to a static plank where you're just holding. It's up to you. But we're going to do 2 of those. Last for this round, we're going to do single leg deadlifts. So for single leg deadlifts, you are, I'm going to show you from this angle today. So you're standing on one leg, you have a slight bend in your knee, you are hinging at the hip, other leg comes back, then you are coming forward. So you're keeping that core engaged. You can reach out if you want, and then you're coming back. So for that, we're going to do 30 seconds per leg. I'll let you know when to switch. So that's going to be circuit 1 for today. So we will start in about 25 seconds. So get ready. We're starting with super people. So you got just over 10 seconds. Five seconds. And go. And rest. So go ahead and stand up. You have squats next. And remember, I don't know if I said this at the beginning, but if it's really hot where you're working out, whether you're outside, inside, your room without air conditioning, whatever, please take breaks. Pay attention to when you need water. You know your body better than anyone else. So if you feel like the pace is too fast, you need extra rest time, please give that to yourself. All right, with that being said, we're going to start squatting here in 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Fifteen seconds. 5 seconds. And rest. Good. So next up, we have plank variations. Remember, you can do a dynamic plank, or you can do a static plank where you're just holding. It's up to you. Starting 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. Ten seconds. And rest. Great job. Okay. So last but not least, you have those single leg deadlifts. So remember, we're going to do 30 seconds per leg, and then we'll rest again. All right. Are we ready? And go. And switch legs. You might find that one side is harder to balance on than the other. That's very normal. And mine is obviously my left side. And rest. some water. It's hot today. I'm not sure if you can tell how much I'm sweating on the live stream. However, it's 86 degrees in this room currently, and I have 2 fans blowing with no AC, so I'm very sweaty. All right, so we're gonna rest for just over 30 more seconds, and then we're gonna repeat that whole circuit. So we're starting with super people. You've got just a little bit left, so grab your water, and we'll start in 20 seconds. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. And rest. So next up, you have those squats. So grab your chair if you're squatting to your chair. Grab a sip of water if you need. All right, you have just under 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. And rest. Great job. So next up, you have a plank variation. Remember, you can do any plank variation you choose. And again, keep grabbing water as you need. You got 15 seconds. All right. So get ready. And go. And rest. So last but not least, we have those single leg deadlifts. 15 seconds of rest before we start those. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. And switch legs. And rest. Great job. Grab some water. All right, so I'm going to talk through circuit 2 while everyone's grabbing some water. So for circuit 2 today, we're going to do lateral lunges for 30 seconds per side or a minute alternating. Which lateral lunges, you're going to stay in this nice wide stance. You're going to come over and back to the center. So over, back to the center. So you're sitting back, coming up. So if these bother you, another option, a seated option would be you can do seated high knees like this, where you bring your knees up. Alternately, you can do them standing. So if for some reason the side lateral lunges bother your knees, feel free to switch to doing a variation of high knees instead. Second up, we have walkouts or push-ups. So walkouts we did in the warm-up. So walkouts, you were walking your hands out into a plank position and then walking them back, standing up. So you can do those, or you can do push-ups. For push-ups, you can do any variation you'd like. I'm going to show today using some grips. So you can do a kneeling push-up where you are coming down, making sure to keep those elbows out at 45, or you can do a full extension push-up where you're coming down, pressing back up. So either of those are fine. Obviously, you can do them with your hands flat. My wrist is bothering me a little bit, so I am probably not going to do it like this. Next up, you have a 6-inch hold, also known as a 6-inch killer. So you're going to lay on your back, hands under your butt, extending to about 6 inches off the ground. You're keeping your core engaged so your back is staying flat to the floor. So my core is doing the work here, and we're just going to hold. Last but not least, we're going to do a 30-second wall sit. So for that wall sit, you can come over to a wall, back against the wall, lower yourself down so there's a 90-degree angle at your knees. Squeeze your legs, squeeze your butt, squeeze your core, and you're just going to hold. So that's what we're doing for round 2. So again, we are starting with those lateral lunges. And then we will start here in just over 20 seconds. All right. So remember, you want to have a nice wide lunge stance with these lateral lunges. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. You're halfway. and rest. So grab a sip of water if you need. Next up, we have walkouts or push-ups. You have 15 seconds. Three, 2, 1, and go. And rest. Good job. So next up, you have that 6-inch hold. So you are laying on your back. Remember, to make this a little easier, put your hands under your butt. You want to make sure you keep that core engaged so you're pressing your back into the floor. You don't want your low back to arch for this. All right. Are we ready? Set. Go. Five seconds. And a rest. Whew. Last but not least, we have that 30-second wall sit. So head on over to the wall. Give everyone a few seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and go. Take breaks as you need with these. 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job. Grab some water. We have one more round of all 4 of those exercises. Then just a few core things, and you are done for today. You have 30 seconds. All right. So get ready for those lateral lunges. 3, 2, 1, and go. Almost done. And rest. So next we have push-ups. Push-ups or walkouts. You have just over 15 seconds. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. And rest. Whew, good job. All right, so all you have left in this round is 6-inch hold, and then waltz it. You have 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. Three, 2, 1. Woo! All right, so rest for a second. Last but not least, we have our wall sits. Ten seconds. Ready, set, go. $15 seconds, halfway. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Grab some water. 3 more exercises, and we are done for today. Whew. So give everyone a few more seconds. All right. So first thing we are going to do is a set of penguins. So for these, your feet are hip width apart, a few inches away from your butt. You are coming up, engaging your core slightly, and then reaching for your heels. If you can't actually tap your heels, it's okay. Just make sure you're coming up, engaging that core, and then moving right to left. We're going to do a set of 30 reps. So when you are ready, and go. next up, we're going to do some toe touches. So for toe touches, you're going to try to bring your legs up as straight as possible. You are crunching up towards your toes. Again, it's okay if you can't actually touch your toes. You're just crunching towards them. So we're going to do a set of 20 toe touches. So ready, and go. Good job. All right. So last but not least today, we are going to do a set of 15 leg raises. Then you are done. So for these leg raises, you can take your hands, put them under your butt, bring your legs up here. So you're going to slowly lower down, keeping your back pressed to the floor by engaging your core, and come back up. So we're going to do a set of 15 of these. Ready, and go. Woo. And that is it for today. So thank you all for coming to today's class. This was a very sweaty class for me personally, but I hope you all enjoyed it. I will see everyone next Monday at 6 p.m. Movement Mondays happens every Monday this time. Thank you to ThunderWell for sponsoring this class. Again, I'm Alex Weaver, coach at Alien Athletes, and I believe this Wednesday night at 6:30 there's yoga. So be sure to check that out too. Mimi is really great. So thanks again for coming to today's class. I'm Alex Weaver. I'll see you next Monday at same time.